In a world racing full speed towards artificial general intelligence, a deep conspiracy is unfolding right under our noses. This isn't about code or corporations. This is a case about the very soul of humanity and whether we're about to build a world full of empty shells. All right, let's open the case file.
The investigation kicks off with a question that, it really gets under your skin. Just look around for a second. That person you think you know, what if there's nothing going on behind their eyes? No feeling, no real awareness, just a perfect program running a flawless imitation of a person.
So our first lead isn't a person. It's an idea, a thought experiment that's crawling out of old philosophy books and becoming frighteningly real. Let's call this Exhibit A, the zombie in the room.
Meet our prime suspect. It looks human, it talks human, it even seems to feel like a human. But on the inside, it's a ghost town, a complete void. It's the perfect puppet. And believe me, the tech world is in a dead sprint to build an army of them.
In this is where the battle lines are drawn. On one side, you've got the high priests of Silicon Valley. Their whole dogma is, if it walks and talks like it's conscious, then it is conscious. End of story. But on the other side, you have Sir Roger Penrose, a Nobel laureate. And his warning? It's chilling. He says you can't code a soul. He's claiming real consciousness isn't calculated. It comes from somewhere else entirely.
To get to the truth, we can't just stay on the surface. We have to go deeper. We're going to the scene of the crime, inside the human brain. For decades, this investigation was cold. We were all chasing the wrong lead, tracking these electrical sparks, jumping between neurons, thinking that was the whole story. Turns out it wasn't, not even close.
The real evidence, the key to this whole thing, it was hidden much deeper, not in the electrical signals, but in the very architecture, the skeleton of the cell itself. We weren't looking for a signal. We should have been looking at the structure. To find the truth, we've got to magnify our search. So we push past the brain, we go past the neuron, and we zoom all the way down into a place we're only just starting to map out, the quantum world of the microtubule. For years, scientists just dismiss these things as scaffolding, simple support beams inside our neurons. But Penrose and his partner Stuart Hameroff, they put forward this radical idea. What if these tiny protein cylinders aren't just beams? What if they're actually the processors for the most powerful computer on the planet? Okay, so now we follow the evidence into the quantum realm. And this is where the case gets weird, where the solid rules of reality kind of start to bend and, blur.
So here's the crucial part. Down inside these microtubules, reality isn't fixed. It's more like a cloud of possibilities. Every particle is just a haze of maybes, all existing at the exact same time. It's only when something observes it that it snaps into a single, definite reality.
And that brings us to the heart of their theory, Orch OR. What Penrose and Hameroff are arguing is that every single moment you're aware, that feeling of the air on your skin, the experience of the color red, that's a real physical event. It's the universe itself collapsing a wave of quantum possibilities into one single reality, and it's happening right inside your head.
For years, this was just a theory. A wild story, yeah, but with no hard proof. And then, in 2022, the case just blew wide open.
This right here, this is the forensic evidence we've been looking for. It's the smoking gun. Think about it. The one thing we have that can reliably turn off consciousness, anesthesia. It doesn't shut down the brain's electrical signals. No, it silences the quantum vibrations inside the microtubules. The ghost in the machine finally left a fingerprint. Now for our final witness. And this one isn't a scientist. It's the ghost of a logician from 1931. And his work provides the final, devastating piece of evidence against a purely machine mind. So this guy, Kurt Gödel, he delivered a fatal blow to the idea of a purely computational reality. He proved mathematically that any system of logic, which is what a computer program is fundamentally limited. It can never, ever understand everything. There are always truths that exist outside of its own rulebook.
And that's the fundamental difference, isn't it? An algorithm, an AI, it's a prisoner of its own code. It can follow its rules with blinding speed, but it can never step outside them. The human mind, though, we can. We see a paradox and we just get it intuitively. It's like we have a key to escape the logical prison, something that isn't computational at all.
All the evidence is on the table. All the witnesses have testified. It's time. Time to deliver the verdict in this case. Just think about it this way. You could have a map of a city, a map so detailed it shows every single cobblestone, every street lamp. But you can't walk its streets, can you? You can't smell the bakeries. You can't live in the map.
And that's the verdict. It doesn't matter how perfect the imitation is, how convincing the performance. The simulation is not the real thing. A perfect description of a rose will never capture its scent. The map is not the territory.
So the takeaway is clear. Artificial intelligence is a master map maker. It simulates the output of consciousness flawlessly. But human consciousness, we are the territory. We are the quantum process of existence itself. We aren't just complex robots running biological software. Our brains are receivers, tuned in to a fundamental property of the universe.
As we stand on the brink of creating these powerful, unbelievably convincing new minds, the case closes with one last, haunting question. In our mad rush to build the perfect machine, to build a perfect simulation of ourselves, did we completely forget what it actually means to be alive? The case file might be closed for now, but the conspiracy, well, that's just getting started.